And as you know, right now, we have one of our county commissioners, Gary Marshman, who's in the hospital. And he may be there for a little while longer. And we're operating the county effectively with one commissioner and a chairman. And we can get off on a tangent, and I won't go there, but this new legislation you're proposing, how do you think that improves or handles a situation where we're short a person, so to speak?
Well, let me say, first of all, we think about Gary, and everybody hopes that Gary gets well and he's back at work tomorrow. Gary was a friend of mine, and I miss talking to him. We talked on a regular basis, but basically, you have one associate commissioner that runs the show, and with this, even in an absence of an associate commissioner, you're still going to have three members of the county commission, and I would think that business could carry on as normal. The way it is now, if something was to happen to the other two commissioners, or one of them need to go on a trip or anything, then the county could not conduct business. They could not meet, because they would not have a quorum to even meet.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. And so just from that standpoint, it seems like it would be great to spread it around a little bit.
Right.
And continue to operate. As a citizen of Cullman County, I'm hearing you talk, and I've read the proposed legislation, and I guess what I don't understand exactly is what you're saying is more people are better than less people. And that's counterintuitive, because that sounds like big government to me. It's like, oh, let's add 2 more commissioners. It'll be great. Can you address my question about what seems like big government here?
I have had not a lot, but I've had a few people question that. And, in a sense, I'm a member of the House of Representatives of Alabama. There's 105 of us, and then the Senate has 35 members. And I can assure you that there's in Montgomery, there's always a good old boy system, but I try not to be a part of it. But with 105 members, there's a lot less of the good old boy system and a lot less deals cut, because you basically, when you have 2 men that can make the call, that can be hard on a county employee, because they can go in and take out political frustrations. If the county employee may have felt a different way politically, they can go in and punish these employees. And I've talked to several county employees, and the general consensus is they stand behind this. And from my understanding, we have employees working in the county right now that make from $15 to $20 an hour answering telephones. And it's because over the years, some commissioner has come in and promoted them to a supervisor spot, and then the next commission beat their friend, and so they wanted a new supervisor, but they couldn't cut their pay. And I think this will end a lot of that, because it's going to bring some stability for these employees. It's going to take a lot more to cut a deal with 4 men than it will with just 2 men, if that makes sense.
Now, Corey, as I read through your proposed legislation, what I find interesting is, from a big picture standpoint, you're breaking it into pieces, where instead of 2 commissioners, there's 4 with districts, part-time, changes in pay. But that's really the extent of the bill from your level. You're letting all the other work, the execution, implementation, happen within the county commission, correct?
That is correct. And I feel like my job is once this is implemented, is to just stand back and let the commission run it. I ran for office to be a representative, not a county commissioner. And there's some things that is better left in house. And the House draws their districts, the Senate gets to draw their districts. So why should the commission not get to draw their districts? And I do have stipulations in there. If they fail to draw those districts, that the probate judge automatically does that. But I think the commission will participate once this is implemented. I think it could be a breath of fresh air for them, because I think it could be like a weight lifted off the shoulder with their reduction in the amount of people that they have to serve.
I can see what you're saying. And did I hear you just say, in the unlikely event that the Cullman County Commission can't quite execute the details of this, that the duty for that transfers to the probate judge, Tammy Brown?
That is correct, or whoever the probate judge is at the
That's
time. You know, I have it spelled out in the legislation. So just in case, I felt we should put some stipulations in there.
I think citizens probably need to read legislation when it comes out and
That's
make up
right.
their own mind. But very early in our conversation, you talked about wanting input from the citizens of Cullman County. What does that mean? Do you want them to call you, email you, text you? How do you want them to communicate to you?
Hey, I'm available. I'm however is easiest for them to communicate. I can receive emails, I answer phone calls, or I text back. So
I got you. Well, as you know, Cullman Today is a newspaper without a paper. Are you okay if your constituents, you know, on our website, comments, or Facebook page, or Twitter, are you okay with having them do it there where you can review
absolutely,
that? Okay.
That's fine with me.
Great.
You can pass it along to me.
I will do it. Any final closing thoughts, anything that's left unsaid that we might have missed here that you can think of?
You know, I just hope that people give this serious consideration, and I think that the key points that I discussed with some stability in the office, and you know, and again, I know that some have concerns of bigger government, but I think we're shrinking government. We're going to spend less money than what we're spending now. You know, as I said earlier, it's harder to cut a deal the more people you have, and I think that's going to help. And you know, something that I didn't mention and that I think is important, and Cullman County is one of the leaders in the state in economic development. And you know, as we look at it from an economic development standpoint, sometimes you begin working on deals, but it takes a while for them to fall into place. And say there's an election coming up in a year, and they begin working on a deal, and you have 2 new associate commissioners elected in. Negotiations could have to start all over at that time. And I think that this will help kind of stop that, because even though 2 new ones may be coming in, we're still going to have 2 old ones that will not be up for election, you know, till 2 more years. So again, that's more stability. That's the key point, is stability to the office, and accessibility for the public.
Corey, thanks so much for having me out, letting me talk to you a little bit, giving you a chance to talk to the citizens of Cullman County. I really appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you.